The other day I was watching interviews about the social media ban for minors in Australia and the UK, and there was one particular clip that sent me down a rabbit hole.
I didn't think it would actually happen. I kind of believed that he'd chicken out of it and give it more time or more consideration, but he seems pretty sure of it, and I'm not sure if I agree with him.
What are you most worried about?
Not being able to contact my friends.
Earlier we looked at screen time. What was your screen time over the weekend?
9 hours.
9 hours. So suddenly you're going to have a lot more time to fill. And what will you do?
Stare at a wall.
I spent a good amount of time thinking about this girl's comment and eventually came to a strange realization. I haven't experienced boredom in a very long time, at least not real boredom. For us adults, it's easy to watch these interviews and think, well, it's for their own good. We know algorithms are predatory, the mental health concerns are real, and social media has increasingly become an infinite online shopping mall. But if I, as an adult living a relatively calm and healthy life on the internet, can't remember the last time I was truly bored, then what exactly are we asking these kids to return to? Because when people talk about social media bans, the assumption seems to be that teenagers will simply rediscover everything that came before. Boredom, hobbies, daydreaming, free time. But somewhere along the way, boredom itself seems to have become a disappearing experience. I mean, have you been bored lately?
In the year 2000, I think I'll probably be the spaceship to the moon dictating robots, or else I may be, I don't know, in charge of a robot court, or I may be at the funeral of a computer.
Even though I was introduced to social media around the age of 9, just like most kids today, it entered my life slowly. Back then, going online was something I did. It wasn't the place where everything happened. I think about the spare time I had at that age, and I can instantly picture it. Playing puzzle games, writing in diaries, wandering around the mall with zero money at my disposal, reading magazines, making collages, learning guitar chords, baking things that never turned out right. I've never been a good baker, talking on the landline for hours. And yes, I also spent a lot of time online. Social media existed, but it didn't define the shape of everything else. It was just another activity that wasn't productive at all, but that was kind of the point. Boredom wasn't the problem that needed solving. It was simply the space between things, and everything could get boring at some point, even the internet. Today, we have to force ourselves to let go of the phone because information and entertainment is never ending. So when we talk about banning social media from their lives, where are we actually sending them to?
I don't think it's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere, everyone doing everything for you. You know, you'll get all bored, and I don't think it'll be so nice.
It's not just that teenagers will go back to playing outside or they'll just rediscover hobbies, because when you think about it, most ecosystems don't fully exist in the same way anymore. Magazines are gone or niche or digital. Malls aren't really the social spaces that they used to be. Phone calls have been replaced by short messages. Even the idea of just calling a friend and seeing what happens feels almost outdated if it's not outdated already. So when I hear people say, just ban social media for anyone under 16, I don't disagree with the intention, of course. I think it's perfect. But if we remove it, what exactly is left? Have we thought about that? Because before social media, life wasn't just less digital. I can say, for example, I was on the internet for a big chunk of my days as a teenager. But really thinking about what makes a difference between my experience and them is that most things I did were structured around physical rituals. For example, if I wanted to go on the internet, I had to go to a specific room in my house. I had to turn on the computer, which took some time. So I guess I did stare at the walls for a few minutes there until it was on. And that happened with basically anything I did. If I wanted to call a friend, I had to talk to their parents first, make up conversation, get some of that good old social friction. Or if I wanted to read a magazine, I needed to grab some money and go to the nearest kiosk to get it. There was always a small delay between intention and interaction. Even boredom had a texture. It wasn't something you escaped immediately. Today, that delay has almost completely disappeared. The moment boredom appears, something is waiting to remove it. A notification, a video, a podcast, a message, or a never-ending feed.
I think it'll be very dull, and people will all be squashed together so much there won't be any fun or anything.
What's interesting is that teenagers have always been marketed to. Long before social media, there were magazines, TV channels, fashion brands, record labels, and entire industries dedicated to capturing teenage attention. By the second half of the 20th century, adolescence had become its own cultural category. Teenagers weren't just seen as future adults anymore. They were an audience with their own music, trends, interests, and of course, spending power. But there was one important difference. All of those things had to compete with boredom. A magazine had to convince you to pick it up. A TV show had to wait until its scheduled time. A record had to be bought, brought home, played, and sometimes even recommended. Even youth culture itself existed within a world that still had long stretches of empty time. Today, that relationship has completely changed. Teenagers still have an industry around them, but now it follows them everywhere. Social media platforms, influencers, advertisers, algorithms, and online store all compete for the same thing, attention. And unlike a magazine sitting on a shelf, these systems don't wait to be chosen. They actively adapt, personalize, and respond in real time. What used to compete against boredom is now designed to eliminate it. Boredom used to be the default setting. Now attention is a product being sold.
But I think that there is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. I think something has to be done about it.
Which brings me back to the social media ban. I fully support it. I believe it's absolutely necessary, especially for generations who haven't experienced it yet. We can absolutely make a difference by distancing kids and teens from toxic online environments, but it's not crazy to think we are pushing them to stare at the walls. It's not just about banning social media, it's about bringing back printed magazines, letting them find a third space to occupy, sitting with them to play games again, forcing them to silence boredom and social friction. For them, boredom will be the worst thing in the world, of course, but truth is, as soon as they turn 16 and they get into social media, they will never experience boredom again and they won't even miss it. But by that time, we have to make sure they have experienced long periods of boredom, because that's the best path to finding a hobby, an interest, an identity, or something that will make their online experience a lot more passionate and fulfilling.
I think it's going to be very boring. And everything will be the same. I mean, people will be the same and things will be the same.
Teenagers are just responding to a world where boredom is non-existent. A world where everything we do requires a smartphone. We are all on social media. We are the ones setting the example, and yet we're telling them, nah, this is for adults only. Meanwhile, we have let go of too many things. We have substituted everything else with our phones. We have noticed how terrible social media can be. We have noticed the changes in mental health data. We have noticed how kids are trying to copy full-grown adults, and we're getting more and more concerned. But we are forgetting that we were the ones who gradually replaced so many of those experiences with our phones. And now, when you take the phone out of the equation, it does feel like we're only left with blank walls around. It's time to go back to a boring afternoon. A long phone call, a magazine read cover to cover, a walk to nowhere. It shouldn't be just for teens. At the end of the day, social media is toxic for everyone. Yes, as adults we have more maturity and more education on how to navigate certain situations, but clearly we haven't really done a very good job with the whole boredom situation. So maybe it's time to look into it and check how much time are we spending there and what can we do to substitute our phones with something else, to go back to a certain experience instead of just living around screens.
Computers are taking over now. Computers and automation. And in the year 2000, there just won't be enough jobs to go around, and the only jobs there will be for people with high HQ, high IQ, who can work computers and such things, and other people are just not going to have jobs. There just aren't going to be jobs for them to have.
Let's stop escaping boredom and try to embrace it. That was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here, and see you on the next one. Bye!
But they sure got some cuties incorrect.